Hi, I'm Simon. This is Abel. And today we're going to tackle the most important question of the day. What is the opposite of vegetables? Again! If you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you my favorite opposite vegetable. Let me show you how it works. What's the opposite of lettuce? Well, let's break it down. Yo, what's the opposite of lettuce? No. The opposite of let is forbidden. Because, you let somebody do something, you're forbidden. And the opposite of us in lettuce is, of course, one singular person. So the opposite of lettuce is forbidden for one person. Next! Parsnip. What's the opposite of parsnip? Now, it's not slightly cutting your grandfather. No, it's, of course, future sow. The opposite of past is the future. And the opposite of snip is to sow. So, therefore the opposite of parsnip is future sow. It sounds like deleted lyrics from The Sound of Music. So, the opposite of parsnip. Next, squash. What is the opposite of the vegetable squash? Stretch. Next, wait, it's disco time. That's not a vegetable. Ha ha ha, it's all the way over here. Okay, well, it's cool. Who moved my disco ball? Next! Pumpkin. Now, what is the opposite of a pumpkin? Let's look closely. Yeah. The opposite of pump is to flatten. Like when you're talking to your friends and you're like, I really want to pump you up. And they're like, no, flatten me down. So the opposite of pump would be roast. That doesn't make sense. You don't roast vegetables. That's silly. And the opposite of kin is someone who's not related to you. The opposite of a pumpkin is to flatten someone that's not related to you. It's safer that way. Next! Eggplant. Keep it clean, family friendly. So the opposite of an eggplant is, of course, chicken takeaway. Now hear me out. This one's tricky. The opposite of an egg is, of course, a chicken, because that's where chickens come from. I don't know which came first, but we're not going to ask the eggplant. Keep it clean, family friendly. And the opposite of plant is takeaway, because you plant it down on the ground and you take it away. That's the opposite of a plant. Not an animal. Next! What is the opposite of bell pepper? The opposite of a bell would be not ringing. The opposite of pep is laziness. And the opposite of is to be divine. No, to is to be human. To forgive, divine. So the opposite of would be not make a mistake. So therefore the opposite of bell pepper is not ringing, laziness, make a mistake. Next! Okay, this next one better make sense. Oh! The opposite of turnip is, of course, the opposite of turn, straight up. The opposite of up is down. The opposite of turnip is straight down. Turn up, straight down. Turn up, straight no. Sorry. Next. Horseradish. The opposite of horseradish is a tricky one. What is the opposite of horse? Jockey. Chicken jockey. Not chicken jockey. This is the opposite of a horse jockey. And the opposite of a radish something that's a bit rad is also a complete dork. So the opposite of horseradish would be jockey, who is a complete dork. Because he's not very rad. Next, you've won today's prize. Today's prize will suit anyone who's looking to get back down on the ground with a trusted friend, but also who likes to eat dry vegetables for dinner. It's this colander. Colander. That joke was a bit of a strain, wasn't it? A strainer joke. Ooh, next! The opposite of shallot is not much. What have you been up to? You've been up to shallots of stuff? No, I've been up to not much. You should get a tissue. Next! Oh, no. Artichoke. Now, this is a controversial one. What is the opposite of art? Well, art is so subjective, but I think the opposite of art is destruction. But a certain kind of destruction can be artistic. So the opposite of art is destruction. The opposite of I is, of course, you. And the opposite of choke is breathe. So the opposite of artichoke is, of course, destruction you breathe. Whew, that's deep somehow. It's a vegetable. Next! Pickle. The opposite of pickle would be to pick any other letter of the alphabet. Right? Next! Zucchini. What is the opposite of zucchini? It is, of course, no animals, not interested elbow. Stick with me. The opposite of a zoo would be no animals. It's just a paddock. The opposite of keen in the middle of zucchini would be not interested. And the opposite of knee would be elbow, or -2 in Japanese. 1,2,3,4,5,6,7,8,9. And now we come to my favorite opposite vegetable, edamame. What's the opposite of edamame? Vomit up your father. The opposite of ed something is to ed. Oh, I just ate my favorite dinner would be to vomit, because the opposite of vomit is eating. And then a mummy is your mummy. And the opposite of your mummy is your daddy, which is your father. So vomit up your father is the opposite of edamame. That's my favorite. Thank you so much for breathing, and remember, be kind, be curious, and stay awesome. And Isabel says hi, but we have run out of time.